Hey guys, it's me Stace. Today is Wednesday. We're a little off schedule, but today we're making a cameo project. Look how cute this sewing machine box is. How fun is that? It's actually a little treat box. We're able to fill it up with all kinds of treats and trinkets, maybe some thimbles and some sewing notions. Super cute. Alright, let's go to the computer and we'll get started. Studio software. Now to get to my designs, I'm going to go to the upper right hand corner and click on where it says Library. And I have all my files here, and you can see on the left hand side I created these folders. I'm going to go to the one I labeled videos to find the project we are making, which is this 3D sewing machine. I'm going to click on that. You can see it. 3D sewing machine. It is by Lori Whitlock. The design ID number is 66557. I'm going to close this out. Now to bring this to our mat, just go ahead and double click on the image. You'll see it appear on our mat here. I'm going to actually separate the pieces. I'm going to right click on it and choose Ungroup to separate the pieces, and then move them ones I want off my mat. So all this is done in brown. And you can use a solid brown cardstock, or you can use a pattern paper. It's up to you on how you want to do that one. I'm going to group all those together because they're all the same color. Right click on those and choose Group. Do the same for these gray pieces. Bring this one down and the other three. And then group all those together. And the rest of the pink is all for our sewing machine. I'm going to go and group them together. So this is for the sewing machine box. This is the part that makes the treat box. I mean the two circles. Now this piece here, if you're going to click on that and move it, you will see the square marks don't come with it. So you want to make sure you don't do that. So I'm going to go back and choose Undo. Take your mouse and highlight the entire piece. Then right click on it and choose Group. For some reason that piece did not come in grouped together. So when you have a group together, then you can move it across and you'll see the score marks travel with it. So I'm using 8.5 by 11 piece of paper. So I'm going to go to move these pieces off my mat. And just fit this one in there. So it's 8.5 by 11. I can also grab these circles and bring them in there as well. So I'm able to cut both of those pieces. Just like that. And then this piece here. So I'm able to cut all those pieces out in 8.5 by 11. So I'll send this to my Cameo, cut it out, come back. Remove those off my mat, then bring this piece over, which is the same color pink cardstock. Bring that up, bring this one down here. So I have my brown paper there and also my gray cardstock here. I'll send all that to the mat and cut it out. I'm going to do all that to go to the table and put our sewing machine box together. Hey guys, we're back. We have all our pieces for our sewing machine, and we have the other pieces here as well. First I'll work on this piece, the thread spool. So I'm going to go ahead and take this and just go ahead and fold all the square marks. And for this brown piece, I just printed off some brown paper. I just printed off like a whole sheet of it. And I want to make sure you get all those square marks. And then this is going to form a little box, or a little thread spool. So I first want to take my glue. I'm going to put glue on these little flaps here. I'm using art glitter glue. Just going to put a little bit of glue there. You don't need a whole lot. Maybe take your finger and kind of spread it out a little bit. And then we're going to fold this in. Just want to give that glue a chance to grab. And I'm going to put some glue on this flap on the other side. Again, take my finger and just kind of rub it in a little bit. Then bring this piece over. I do wish this piece was a tad bit skinnier. Alright, and the same thing, put glue on these little flaps here. So put some glue on that one and this one. Now I'm going to take my finger and just spread the glue out a little bit. I have a little rag next to me that I'm putting my extra glue on. Oh, I forgot that score mark. Make sure you get all those score marks. I bring this piece in, lining it up on that side, and just giving that glue a second to grab before I move on to the other one. I find art glitter glue does dry relatively quickly. And I always have this link below. I get asked a lot where I get that from. I get it off Amazon, and it's always in my description box below. Alright, so we have the basic box. Now we're going to fold all these little pieces down. like that, and then put some glue on all those flaps. I apologize for the dog. All right, then we're just going to fold this piece over to create the box. And just let that sit there for a second. I like using the liquid glue because it gives me some flexibility and some wiggle room. All right, so now we have that. These are going to get glued to this. So I'm going to take one of them and put glue all around this piece here. And just get that lined up on the bottom and the sides. And just press it into that glue. And we're not going to see the sides, we're going to wrap it with yarn to mimic thread. On this piece, before I put that piece on there, I'm going to take some double-sided tape. This is going to hold my yarn on. Just take some there. And another little piece on next to that. Okay, take my bone folder and give it a little bit of a rub. This helps me release the tape a little bit easier. Before I put the tape, actually I'm going to take the tape off now, just in case I have an issue with it. Okay, so now I'm going to put glue on the other side. Okay, on this piece right here. Okay, then take this piece and put it on top of that one, lining up the sides. Okay, now for the thread to go around it, I'm just using regular yarn. So I'm going to take my thread. I have the sticky part exposed there. Just put my yarn in there and just kind of wrap it around the box. An even layer. You don't want to go super tight. Keep on going around. And I'm trying to get it as close to the other row as I can. But when I have a tear in my yarn there, I'm going to get another piece of yarn. There's like a big fuzzy in it. We don't want fuzzy thread, right? Okay, so just grab another piece of yarn. And let's try that again. Put that on there and then work our way around. The part that I have the sticky on will be the back, so I'm more focused on the front here. This is a really cute box. If you have a friend who is a sewer, oh my gosh, so cute. You can fill this with all kinds of sewing notions, a gift certificate to their favorite sewing store or quilt shop. You can even fill it with like rocks, and they can use it for a little paperweight for where they do patterns to hold their patterns down. Okay, so there's our little thread box. Super cute, our little spool. And then we're going to move all that out of the way. Now we have this piece. This is for the pin. These are the buttons. So I'm going to set the buttons aside and work on this piece. And you want to go ahead and score or fold all those score marks. Now you'll see those little flaps. I'm not going to worry about them little flaps because they're way too little for me to fiddle with as far as putting glue there. I'm not going to worry about them. Just go ahead and fold all this down. Don't forget that one in the middle. There's actually two in the middle there. Just fold them down and give them a good pinch. Okay, that's going to create the box that our pin goes into, and you will see on this part, is this piece? Yeah, there's a little, there's a small little tick mark there for a pin. I'm going to take my pin and I'm going to poke it through that hole right there. That lets you know the center. Just poke that through. Okay, just like that. And then what I want to do is take my other pin, the pin I'm actually going to use, and I want to take some more of this double-sided tape. I find this helps hold my pin in really well, so I'm going to take this, and I can see my pinhole there still. Take my double-sided tape, and I put that on the inside of the box where that pinhole is. Then I'm going to take that off. Then poke your pin through. Now this is just a regular sewing pin. You can see it's a rather long one. I do have wire cutters next to me, so I'm going to trim this pin off, or trim the pin off when I get to that point. I just push that all the way down. You want to have a pin that has a head on it, That way it kind of holds it. Then take that glue that we put down, and I'm going to lift it up and kind of cover the pin. It helps keep the pin in place a little bit. You can also use a glob of hot glue if you want to use that there. I would, but my hot glue gun is not plugged in. Alright, so that just kind of holds the pin there. Okay, and we can adjust the straightness in a minute. Alright, now, take all these little flaps, fold them inward, okay? And you're going to put some glue on this little piece right here. You'll see the flaps. Just going to take your glue, put it on that piece there and this piece there. You can always put some glue on the inside of your pin as well. And now I'm going to take the other side, and again, those little flaps, I'm not going to worry about them. Just bring this over, and then close, put the other flap down on that side and on this side as well. Make sure I have one on the outside of that. Okay. Just get it seems like it's difficult because it's so little. It's very fiddly, and I'm getting glue on my finger, so everything's sticking to me. Just want to get that there. Don't worry about your pin going all different directions. We'll fix that. Just kind of straighten it up as you go. Okay. Alright, now I'm going to take this one, this little flap. You can either fold it down to make it easier, or you can tuck it in. Either way, I think because it's going to go on the underside of the machine, I'm just going to do it this way versus tucking it under. Just go like that. Nobody will see that part. Then these little flaps that I did not glue down, I'll just take my scissors and cut them off. Okay, the one there, and then this one over on this side. So like almost forms like a little envelope. Okay, with our pin in it. I'm going to set that aside with the pin going straight. Make sure that glue is down there. Okay, so set that aside. Make sure your pin is up straight. Alright, now I'm going to set these aside as well, otherwise I will lose them. We're going to work on this. So now we have this piece and these two round circles. This is for the dial. So you want to go ahead and fold on that square mark. All these little flaps, you want to have them going down. Do the same for this side. I do find this part very fiddly. You want to have it form a perfect circle. There's also, I believe, a square mark right at the very end on this little flap. I'm going to fold that down. Alright, so now what I'm going to do is take that, I'm going to put some glue on this little flap here. And then again, because I have a lot, just take my pinky and just kind of spread it out a little bit. Then bring the other end over, lining it up where that goes. Okay, and then just hold that there for a second. And while you're holding that, go ahead and push. You want to have all these pieces and go inward. You just kind of push all them down just to get them started. And our circle is going to adhere to that. This is the hand dial for the sewing machine. Okay, I'm going to hold that one and then work on this side. Just going to push all them down. You want them all going inward. Okay, like that. Alright, so just go ahead and push them all down. Now we're going to put some glue on them, on those, and then we're going to put our circle on top of that. Just take some glue. I'm just kind of globbing it on there. You don't want too much. I find if you use a lot of glue, it makes it harder to go together because you have so much glue. It's very slippery. So I put a good amount of glue on there. I'm taking my finger and just spreading it out. Take the circle and place it on there, and you want to line it up. So I'm working on one small section, just holding that in place, that I can kind of go on the inside and push my finger there and line it up. And if it doesn't form a perfect circle, it's okay, because I find it's rather hard to make this be a perfect circle. Just try your best to get it in there, push these pieces outward, and kind of plop them down on that glue. See, I'm like way off on this side, so just push this piece out some. When I made my first one, I was kind of over on top of it, so I can make sure I was lining up everything. But just, you can do it this way. Just On the inside, just push it out. On the bottom, just push it down. And just keep on going all the way around a few times, just to make sure that glue is really sticking. And you want to go on the inside and just press all those little flaps down really well into that glue. Okay, all right, then we're going to go ahead and do the same for this one, for the other side. So just push all those down. Take our glue, and you want to go all the way around this piece. Then take a finger or something to kind of spread that glue out. So I don't have so much glue there. You want enough to hold it down. And then this side's the hardest part because I can't go on the inside to line it up. So I just kind of hold it on one side, let that glue adhere to the one side first. Just hold it there. And then as it sits there, just bring the other piece in and just kind of push it into it. And this, whatever side's the uglier side, that side will go to the machine. To the side. So that actually looks pretty good. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and let that sit over there. I'm actually going to put this on top of it just to kind of weigh it down a little bit. Alright, now, we have the two pieces here for the sewing machine. The box. We're going to take this, and you want to fold in all the score marks. Okay, and then fold all these ones. This is such a cute little box. I'm a sewer, so this will definitely sit in my room on my desk. Alright, so we have that done. Do the same thing on this one. Just go and fold all those score marks really well. This is Stampin' Up's cardstock. This is So Saffron. I do think it's important to use a good quality cardstock when you're making a 3D box like this. Okay, so now we have that. So we're going to take that, and you want to have it to where it looks like this. Okay, so the sewing machine, the bulk of the sewing machine is on this side. Then you're going to take this piece, and you'll notice that one side has a rounded edge, and one side has a square edge. You're going to take this square edge, and you're going to line it up right in the middle of these two score marks right here. Just take that like that. I'm actually going to flip it over. Okay, so it looks like this. Okay, put some glue on that flap right here. And I flipped it over so it makes it easier. I can make sure I'm lining this up with that square mark, and also the side square marks all line up together. Just like that. I'm going to go ahead and just give it a squish and let it sit there for a minute. Let the glue kind of do its thing. And basically now comes the semi-hard part. It's very, very fiddly this side. Okay, so that's what your box is going to look like when you have that flap on there. You can always come in here and also put tape, just regular Scotch tape on there, just to help you hold that down while you're going through. This is the very bottom of the box, is it? Yes. So nobody will even see this part, but I do find the tape there just kind of helps that little piece stay in place until my glue thoroughly dries. Okay. So now you'll see we have all these little flaps. They're going to go along this whole side. So we have this little flap here. You're going to take that and put that right there. Okay, then this flap will go here. You're going to work your way around this whole inner piece. This is what's going to create the base of the box. So I'm first going to put some glue on this little tab here. That small little flap right there. And again, I'm going to take my finger to kind of spread it around. And then we're going to bring it over and line it up at the bottom of the box right here. Just, again, you want to hold that there for with your finger until the glue kind of sets up. Just like that. And then I'm going to put some glue on the long piece right here. Just like that. And again, I'm going to take my finger and just kind of rub that glue in. So it's a nice even layer, and that's going to go right here on the bottom. And that's what's going to form the base or the bottom the throat plate of our machine. And again, you want to just let that glue sit before you move on to the next step, otherwise it'll never really adhere right. So I'm on the inside, pushing that flap in, letting that glue make contact before I turn. Okay, so let that one go. I'm going to come over and bring all this over, because it's all going to go around like that. So rather than trying to put glue on that little flap down there, I'm going to put glue right along the side here. I think that might be a little bit easier. Just put some glue right along this flap, or that piece. Take your finger, spread it around a little bit, then bring this piece over. I do think that's a little bit easier versus trying to put glue on that little flap. Okay, and again, I'm on the inside, just holding that down until I can see it made good contact. It's an easy box to put together. I think it's just very, very fiddly. You know, because you're working with these in this little area, and you want to make sure your glue is down. You can always use a sticky strip if you want to put it together with that. But I do think the liquid glue, I prefer the liquid glue in this case, because it gives me that flexibility to move the pieces up and line things up. All right, so next I have put some glue on this piece. Just a little bit, enough where that flap was. Take your finger, kind of spread it out some. And then we're going to flip it around and line up that flap right there. And again, I'm going to go on the inside and hold that down really well. Get it all lined up nice and straight. Just take a minute. Okay, just make sure there's no glue on the outside of that. Alright, now we have only a few more flaps to go. We have this one and this one here. So I'm going to put some glue on that one. I'm actually going to do both of these together. I just put my glue there. Take your finger, kind of smooth it out a little bit. And then bring that corner piece over. You'll see where that corner piece goes, kind of going on the up right there. And then bring this piece over. I'm actually going to do this together, so I'm going to do that piece first, then come in and push that corner where it's going to go. I can hold both of those together. So I think the key here is allowing that glue, giving that glue time to set up before you move on. Otherwise, it's going to keep on coming undone on you. I did have that trouble in my first box. Just work one section at a time. I'm going to even go in there with my bone folder and just go ahead and press on those pieces as well, just to make sure they're really in there. Okay. Alright, so I think that looks pretty good. We have this flap here. So this flap, I can go and put glue right on that flap. Alright, again, take your finger, spread it out a little bit so it's not so globby, then bring it up on the side. Just like that. And again, you want to hold that in place. I'm actually going to flip it over and just push on it. And then this piece is going to get glued onto all these little flaps here, all at one time. You want to finish this side first, make sure this one's nice and set up, and the glue is dry. Okay? So I think that looks pretty good. Now for this one, before I put this on, I do want to put some glue on this flap here, right there. So I'm going to put some glue on that piece, right there, a good amount. Then again, take your finger, spread it out. Then you're going to bring this side over and just line up the bottom. And again, I'm going to get it there. And then just hold it there for a second. And when it sets up a little bit more, I'll go on the inside and just press it down really well. Okay, just like that. You don't want to put glue on these top flaps, because that's going to be the top of the box. That's how you get the box to open. So just on this one little bottom piece here, take your bone over if you want to, just to really spread that glue out. Okay, so now we have that. Now, just going to push all these pieces in. I'm going to push that one out, that little petite piece there. Push all these in, and we're going to put glue all over this. This is the hardest part, putting glue on all these pieces. And you want to try to have your glue go to the edge, a nice even layer. You can see I'm using a lot of glue, but I'm going to go back with my finger and just spread all that glue out some. That way it gives me that even layer. I get it to the edge. Sometimes it's okay to get glue in your fingers. Just have a rag or wiping area. Okay, so we have our glue all spread out. I'm going to kind of rub my hands together. Now I'm going to work on this bottom piece first, and I'm going to come over to the edge right here and take that, push my sides in the best I can, and then just push this down. Now on this side is harder because I can't go on the inside to grab it. So I kind of work in sections. I think it's a little bit easier that way. Okay, so when that kind of sits there, come over here and do the top. Line that up where it goes. And this one you're able to go in there on the side. This part you're able to go in there and stick your finger in there and just kind of let that glue help push that flap down, make sure everything is in the right spot. Just like that. I think I need to have more glue over here. So I'm going to just go ahead and shove some in there. And then push it in really well. This is the top of the box. I do want to have this part be glued all the way to the top. So I'm going to do it with my finger. Just press it in there really well. Okay. And that's our sewing machine box. Isn't it adorable? Oh my gosh, I love this box so much. And there's room in there. You know, you could fit, I don't know if you can fit a gift card in there, but you can certainly put like a little thimble, a few things, like a few spools of thread. But I do like the idea of filling it with maybe rice or beans or something, or pebbles to use as a paperweight. This part is giving me an issue right there. I'm getting stuck. There we go, and the lid stays closed, which I also like that. Alright, so I can see I'm not together here on this side. Just going to push it. Okay, just let that do its thing. Alright, so now we have the sewing machine. Now we have our little handle. And I think I'm going to use where my seam was. I'm going to put that part down. That's going to get glued right to here. And I'm just going to use my, do I want to use that side? Yeah. My art glitter glue for that as well. Now I do have a card kit for this box. Let me go ahead and get that for you in a minute. Just hold that there. I have a card kit. And what a card kit is, basically it includes all the stuff you need to make the box. Looks like this. I even give you the yarn. I also give you the pin. And to win that, all you need to do is leave me a comment below with a flowery emoji. So I know you want to be entered in that drawing, and I'll pick a winner. So you can make this exact same box yourself. Alright, so we have that there. Now let's go ahead and work on our little buttons. I'm actually going to pop those up. Let me grab the foam squares. I think I'm going to use maybe two, because these are the small ones. Yeah, two fit on there fine. Okay. Grab this one. Okay, that's going to be our dial. Our buttons. I'm going to go right here. Is that where I had them? Yeah. Right here in the middle. Such a cute box for somebody who loves to sew. Alright, that's going to go there. Alright, now, the other piece that we had, this piece, see that? My glue came undone right there. I wasn't watching it. Okay. I'm going to hold that down for a minute. So this piece here is where the needle goes into the machine, that piece. If you want to make that look more realistic, you can draw lines on it. If you ever look at a sewing machine plate where that needle goes up and down, there's usually lines on there that allow for like a seam allowance, so you can use as a guide. I'm not going to mess with that. You're just going to put some glue on it, and we're going to put it down here. Okay, right below this part. Okay, right in the middle there. Make sure it's straight and on there. Okay, so that's a little bit crooked. A little crooked. There we go. Okay, so you can see where that goes, right below this part. Then this is where this is going to go. Now if I put this next to it, you can see my pin is way too long. So I'm going to just take a pair of wire cutters and just go in and cut this off. Okay, make that little needle a little bit shorter. And then again, you want to try to make that be as straight as you can get it. Okay, and then once I know this little piece over here is dried, I'm going to glue that to the top. We're going to take this one, and I should have did it before. I'm going to take some double-sided tape again, just to hold this on there, because it is rather top heavy. I want to make sure I go on the bottom. I'm going to put one piece there, kind of rub it with my bone folder a little bit, and then take the backing off that box, or that tape. If I had it, then I dropped it. There we go. And actually on top of that tape, I'm going to do another piece. So it goes all the way across. Right on top of that existing tape. Again, give it a little bit of rub with the bone folder. Now peel the backing off. Okay, so now that's nicely taped. Make sure I have the back facing the back, and this is going to get plopped on right on top. Okay, so get that like that. Now I have that on there. Open it up and just give it a good squish to where that tape makes really good contact there. Okay, and on this one, you could use, if you want to, we'll go ahead and do that on this one as well. Take your double-sided tape, put it on this side. Okay, give it a little bit of a rub. Take the backing off. Give it a better rub than that. There we go. Take the extra, just kind of fold it over. Take another piece and lay it right on top of the other one, or next to it. And again, give it a good little rub. Take the back off of it. There we go. Fold over the extra. Then take this, and you want to stick that on this side, right above that, so the needle kind of, so your pin looks like it's in the middle of that. Just take that over like this, like that. Okay, then on the inside, I can go in there and just push this down really, really well. And that's it. There's our sewing machine. I mean, how cute. Absolutely love this project. Okay, I'm going to close your lid. So again, you can open it up to access the little goodies. Close it. And this is your desk. How fun is that, right? Don't forget, leave me a comment below with a flower emojis. I know you want to be entered in the card kit. And you get everything you need. So again, you get the yarn, you even get the needle, but you'll have to cut that to make it fit this piece here. But anyway, there you have it. Super cute, right? Love this project. All right, guys, any questions at all, please let me know. As always, thanks so much for watching. Have a great day, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.